The Jedi Temple on Coruscant was built to bury a Sith shrine, and what the Jedi found when they looked directly at it changes how you understand the fall of the Order. Before we start, comment below. Did you know that Palpatine used this Sith shrine to conceal himself in the Force and from the Jedi? The place beneath the place. The shrine in the depths wasn't a hidden chamber added later or a forgotten basement uncovered by accident. It was the reason this spot on Coruscant mattered in the first place. Long before modern Galactic Republic existed, Coruscant already held a powerful force vergence at the peak of what was known as the Sacred Spire. This was originally a light side vergence, and that detail is crucial because the Sith didn't build the shrine there by coincidence. They built it there to corrupt something that was already powerful. By no later than 5,000 years before the fall of the Republic, during an era when the Sith openly dominated the galaxy, they constructed an enormous black edifice at the top of the peak. It wasn't subtle and it wasn't meant to be. Against the Coruscant skyline, the shrine stood as a literal monument to Sith dominance, and over time the corruption worked. The light side vergence was twisted into something dark. This is where things usually get simplified, but the details matter. The shrine wasn't destroyed because it failed. It was destroyed because the Sith lost a war. When the Jedi finally defeated the Sith, they destroyed the visible structure. What they didn't erase was the vergence itself, or the foundations that sunk deep into the mountain beneath Coruscant. And that leads directly to the choice that shaped everything we know about the Jedi and Sith today. Why did Jedi build the temple here? The Jedi didn't accidentally build their grand temple on top of a Sith shrine. They did it deliberately. After the war, the Jedi erected their own shrine directly over Sith foundations, and eventually the Four Masters, also called the Four Founders, oversaw the construction of what became the Jedi Grand Temple. This wasn't just a practical decision about location, it was symbolic. The Jedi were trying to bury the Sith legacy at the very heart of the galactic capital. As the structure grew upward, the Sith ruins were entombed deeper and deeper beneath it. Meditation chambers were placed over the site, and the Jedi believed that the presence of thousands of light side adepts would cap the dark energy below and slowly return the vergence to the light. On paper, the logic makes sense. The Jedi weren't ignoring the dark side, they were actively trying to suppress it. But here's the part most people miss. The dark energy didn't stay contained. It seeped upward and outward from the vergence, quietly infiltrating the halls and chambers of the temple itself. And over time, that influence weakened the Jedi Order from within. What makes this especially unsettling is that the Jedi didn't realize it was happening. They believed that the shrine was neutralized, or at least safely buried. And yet, a portion of the shrine endured, hidden in the mountain's foundations, forgotten but still active. Once you know that, the Jedi Temple stops feeling like a place of perfect clarity and starts feeling like something much more fragile. The shrine as an oddity. There's another detail that quietly sets the shrine in the depths apart. Shrines like this were typically associated with planets that were historically Sith worlds. Coruscant was not one of those planets. It was a galactic capital, the seat of the Republic, and eventually the symbolic heart of the Jedi Order. That contradiction alone should raise eyebrows. The fact that such a shrine existed there at all tells you how deeply the Sith once shaped the galaxy, even in places later rewritten as purely Jedi. And this wasn't forgotten knowledge forever. About 1,000 years before the fall of the Republic, the shrine's existence became known to the Sith Lords of Darth Bane's revised order. From that point on, it was a closely guarded secret, passed quietly among Sith while remaining largely unacknowledged by the Jedi. The Jedi, for their part, kept the shrine sealed beneath a meditation area and only opened it when they needed to neutralize dark side artifacts. As far as they were concerned, the shrine was dangerous but manageable. That belief is about to get tested when the darkness wasn't there. During the High Republic era, the Jedi brought a set of 4 statues recovered from the ancient Amaxine space station into the shrine in the depths. The assumption was straightforward. The statues were believed to be dark side artifacts, and the shrine was the place where such objects were dealt with. A group of powerful Jedi Masters gathered there and joined their minds together in the Force. This wasn't casual meditation. This was deliberate, focused attempt to perceive and neutralize darkness. And when they turned their attention to the idols, they found nothing. No darkness, no corruption, nothing to cleanse. Jedi Master Harley Kogra later recorded this moment in Chronicles of the Jedi, written shortly after the destruction of Starlight Beacon in 230 BBY. He notes that the Masters realised the Jedi who brought the statues had misunderstood their purpose entirely. Here's why that moment matters. The shrine didn't react. It didn't amplify darkness or reveal hidden corruption. It simply reflected what was actually there. This suggests that the shrine wasn't just a source of dark power, it was also a lens, one that showed the truth of what was placed within it. Once you notice that, it reframes how the Jedi were using the shrine. They weren't just suppressing darkness, they were relying on it to define what darkness was. And that reliance has consequence. The Sith who never forgot. After the Jedi fell, and the Republic became the Galactic Empire, the temple was converted into the Imperial Palace. At that point, Darth Sidious made a decision no Jedi ever did. He excavated the shrine. The work was carried out entirely by machines, overseen by Sidious's personal droid 11-4D. The secrecy was absolute. As far as records indicate, Sidious was the only living being who definitely knew the shrine existed. Even Darth Vader was unaware of it as of 14 BBY. Sidious didn't treat the shrine as a problem to be contained. He treated it as a resource. He used it as his private sanctum, spending long periods meditating there and probing the deepest currents of the dark side. Eventually, he planned to bring Vader into the shrine to help him seek even greater power, including knowledge that could allow him to reshape reality itself. And in 3 ABY, while meditating in that same space, Sidious felt a disturbance in the Force that he later identified as Luke Skywalker, what the Jedi thought they buried. The statues of the four Masters once stood at the temple's entrance along the processional way, 2 warrior masters and 2 sage masters overlooking the ceremonial staircase. They were symbols of balance, structure and continuity. Those statues were toppled or destroyed during Operation Nightfall in 19 BBY. It's hard not to see the symmetry there. The founders who built the temple to bury the Sith legacy were erased at the same moment the Sith reclaimed what had been hidden beneath it all along. This story nearly became a full arc in the Clone Wars, with Ahsoka Tano returning to the temple and discovering ancient ruins beneath it. Although those episodes were never produced, George Lucas and Dave Filoni both confirmed the underlying concept. The temple was built over ancient Force worship, possibly including the Sith. Once you accept that, the fall of the Jedi stops feeling sudden, it starts feeling structural. The quiet irony. The Tarkin novel states that no sentient being except Darth Sidious had set foot in the shrine for nearly 5,000 years. Though later High Republic material contradicts that claim, even that contradiction is telling. The shrine exists at the intersection of myth, secrecy and selective memory. Reference books have even misstated its destruction and reconstruction, placing events centuries later than they occurred. That kind of confusion mirrors the in-universe reality. The shrine was never fully understood, even by those standing directly above it. The Jedi believed they had buried the darkness. The Sith understood it had simply been covered. And that brings us back to the moment when the Masters looked into the shrine and saw nothing at all. Sometimes the most dangerous thing isn't what the dark side shows you, it's what it convinces you isn't there. Once you see the Jedi Temple as a structure built to suppress rather than inspire, it's hard to unsee how vulnerable the Order always was. If you're enjoying these videos, consider becoming a channel member and let's uncover the galaxy's greatest secrets together. Thanks for watching.